democratic elections in 2015. If anyone is going shortcut, we feel that United States of America will not be part of those who wanted to take shortcut to the governance. Before I could allow call the colonel, who is the spokesperson of the army, we also wanted to talk about the reports which came from someone called Case Copeland, who says the number of the people killed in South Sudan so far up to now is 10,000. This is falsehood. I know a number of our people has died. I know I know anyone with the correct statistics. Even the army have not yet got the correct statistics as to how many people the conflict has consumed since the start of the conflict on the 15th of December. But the number will not go to 10,000. It will go, a little bit higher than 1,000. That was estimated by the UNMISS. And we wanted also to, to express our happiness with the press release that was issued by Ms. Hilda Johnson yesterday, in which she has now told the world the real scenario. Because in her statement she said, in the past 2 weeks, UNMISS and UN humanitarian agencies and non-governmental organizations have experienced an unacceptable act that disrupt their operation and expose their personnel to serious security risks. Some 20 vehicles owned by UN and humanitarian agencies has been commandeered or confiscated by anti-government forces involved and Bantu. Now it's clear. Okay, United Nations is not being respected by the rebel. The rebel doesn't respect the United Nations. It is the rebel that raided a number of United Nations compounds and to kill whoever they wanted to kill. The government has not taken one single card from the UNMISS. This is a very promising report, and well, as a result of such information, the world will try to to adjust the mindset of certain people who think that the government is the cause of what had happened on the 15th of December. You cannot cause your own problem. The problem was caused to us by certain people. So, because I know you are eager to actually listen to the news about the battlefield, which is also consuming. That's why I said, let me tell you the good news. And I want kind of to tell you another good news for us as a government, because we have actually exerted control over the area that was occupied by the rebels. And it's bad news because people die when there is a fight. So, Colonel Philip, could you please come and talk to the media about the situation? Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, press houses, good afternoon or good evening. This is a statement from the SPLA General Headquarters, from the Office of the Chief of General Staff, Lieutenant General James Osmai, the Chief of the SPLA, Chief of Staff of the SPLA, on the recapturing of Bantu town from the rebel forces of Riek Machar. Today, the 10th of January, 2014, SPLA forces under the overall command of Lieutenant General Job Riak, the Sector 1 commander, and the operational command or the field command of Major General Magog, Major General Matthew Puljang, and Brigadier General Deng Mayik have entered Bantu town at 2:30 afternoon. This was after a resistance and a fierce battle that took our forces 2 hours from 12. Our forces entered Rook Corner at 12, and they faced a resistance at the bridge from 12 up to 2:30, when the only tank that was mounting a resistance at the bridge fled. So the SPLA forces are now in full control of Bentiu town and are securing all the outlets and the inlet to the town. The SPLA Chief of General Staff is calling upon all the SPLA and the security members of Unity State that are in hiding to report themselves as soon as possible to their units. And especially those who left the towns, whether left Bentiu or Juba or any towns, due to the deception and false propaganda by the Riek Machar group, they should now be able to identify the truth from the lie and should report back to their unit. With the capturing of Bentiu, the Chief of General Staff has ordered all the SPLA forces along the routing between Mangala and Bor to move quickly and regain control over Bor, and these forces are now on move toward Bor town. Not only to recapture Bor from the rebels, but to rid the Jonglei state from the rebellions and bring peace and stability to all the places that have witnessed fight and counterattacks since the 15th of December 2013. Mayom, where the SPLA started their battles, it is a distance of 61 miles to Bentiu, and this is where the SPLA started their march. SPLA have recaptured more than 15 tanks that were taken over by the rebellion, and these tanks are now in use in Bentiu, and more of heavy machine guns that were in the borders area are now under the control of the SPLA forces. The whereabout Major General, the renegade James Kong, is not known, but possibly he was seen trying to cross the river to areas of Al Jazeera Fanjak or anywhere he may be heading. One of his commanders, field commanders known as Brigadier General Makal, surrendered himself to Sudan Armed Forces in Panthau Hijli. After the SPLA forces under the command of Brigadier General Denmayik captured all his weapons and more than 10 trucks. These trucks include 6 that were supplied to the rebels by a foreign country. The SPLA is working to identify the foreign force that supplied them with arms and ammunition. These 6 trucks are full of ammunition and food items. The SPLA will show them to the media and will identify the country that supplied them. Let me try to summarize it in Arabic. بيان من مكتب رئيس هيئة أركان الجيش الشعبي بتاع السودان الفريق أول جيمس أوسماي حول استرداد قوات الجيش الشعبي بتاع السودان مدينة بنتيو عاصمة ولاية الوحدة في الساعة 2:30 بعد الظهر. دخلت قوات الجيش الشعبي بتاع السودان مدينة بنتيو تحت قيادة القطاع الأول تحت قيادة الفريق جوغرياك والقيادات الميدانية لواء مقوم نائب قائد الفرقة رابع مشاة واللواء ماثيو بولجان والفريق والعميد دميك دخلت قوات مدينة بنتيو في تمام الساعة 2:30 بعد معركة دامت 2.5 بالقرب من كوبري ربكونا، حيث قاومت دبابة واحدة قوات الجيش الشعبي لمدة ليس بقصير، ثم هربت تلك الدبابة بعد 2 ساعات. وجه رئيس أركان الجيش الشعبي في السودان الفريق أول جيمس اسماعيل نداء إلى كل أفراد الجيش الشعبي في السودان والوحدات النظامية المسلحة بالرجوع والعودة إلى وحداتهم في خلال 24 ساعة، سواء كانت ذلك في بنتيو أو الذين انسحبوا في مدينة بنتيو أو جوبا بعد الخداع والمحاولات لجعل هؤلاء يهربون لأي سبب من الأسباب. وجه قيادة الجيش الشعبي في السودان لكل الذين شردوا من مناطقهم الرجوع في خلال 24 ساعة. بعد سقوط مدينة بنتيو في يد قوات الجيش الشعبي في السودان، وجه القائد جيمس اسماعيل رئيس هيئة أركان الجيش الشعبي في السودان أوامر لقوات الجيش الشعبي المتواجدة في الطريق بين منغلا وبور بالتحرك لاسترداد مدينة بور في أقرب فرصة ممكن، وتلك القوات تتحرك الآن نحو مدينة بور لتحرير مدينة بور أو استردادها وتطهير ولاية جونغولي من كل مجموعات التمرد وخاصة في غاديان والمناطق الأخرى المجاورة. شكرا الصحافة وإذاعات العالمية والمحلية. إذا كانت هنالك أي سؤال فبنرحب به. We will welcome any questions, but so far the third is what was mentioned by Molana Teleweb. We condemn the act of the rebel by commandeering more than 20 trucks. Actually, the United Nations is ahead of us. We were wondering what will the United Nations mission in South Sudan say, because 3 days ago, more than 6 trucks or vehicles were used by forces of Peter Gadet to transport their forces to the front line near Pariak, from Bor to Pariak area. And SPLA has been monitoring this vehicle moving between Bor and Pariak. We are thankful to the United Nations mission in South Sudan by condemning this act. We call upon the SPLA forces to respect all these vehicles. If they capture them in the battle, possibly in the Battle of Bor, they should be kept safe and returned to the United Nations and the humanitarian agencies. Thank you very much.
What's your name and media?
ولا citizen TV.
ولا تاكسي.
ما هو الدولة التي تدعم المتمردين بالإمدادات والأسلحة؟
الدولة التي تدعم المتمردين بالأسلحة. Yes, روسيا اليوم.
سؤالي هو بعد استرداد الجيش الشعبي أو الجيش الحكومي لمدينة بنتيو، هل هنالك إحصائيات للخسائر في صفوف الجيش الحكومي؟
Yes.
Mainly not what I heard you. So all the all of the تصريحات بتاعي سي ماريوت نائب حاكم أصحاب الدولة جنوبية ومبارك في
How can I interpret the issue that you are announcing that maybe a ceasefire is coming and he's saying that now we are going to war? No?
Okay.
General Malaka surrendered South. What does this mean? Is it a joint operation between South and the SPLA in Bentiu?
Okay. That one is noted down.
Working from Gurtong and AFP. There's reports from inside sources in Bentiu we spoke 2 hours ago, and they were saying that some of the fighters on the SPLA side, the militia that used to disturb Unity State before the beginning of this crisis, referring to Khartoum militias or the Khartoum armed forces, the SAF. Could you SPLA try, I mean the spokesman, try to have some set on light on this? Meanwhile, the last question is, where are the SPLA currently in Bor? Is it still where they are as the SPLA spokespersons?
في وقف العدايات ده يعني في هم كانوا لسه مطالبين بإطلاق السراح.
Please. That's good. Your questions in regards to what is about the plane that he said were fighting alongside South Sudan. He said man should know that before the country was a sovereign country, before they joined the rebellion, and South Sudan or anybody attacked you. Okay? If you think that your army is not strong, you can even do allies with other countries, but we have not yet reached that position because it was the same as PLA that divided itself. About what you have already, what that has been already articulated by the media, that there is optimism from the mediators. They are no longer down, you know, according to the mediating team. Cessation of hostilities. Colonel Philip, you have a number of questions, so come and answer them, please.
Okay, شكرا. ما هي الدولة التي ساعدت التمرد the country that might have supported the rebellion. في الأول العالم متشابكة ومتداخلة. يمكن الناس يساعدوا التمرد في بنتيو. عندنا 2 أدلة 6 عرفات تم القبض عليه وعدد من ألغام أرضية ليست موجودة في جنوب السودان، ما كانت في حوزة الفرقة الرابعة من شعب. لكن كما أنا قلت إنه العالم متشابكة، قد يجوز إنه يمكن ده مجموعة من أفراد وليس بالدولة، أو إذا كانت فعل دولة معين فسيتم التعرف على المصدر بعد النزول مدينة بنتيو ونملك الحقائق دي للصحافة. We will try to identify who had been helping these rebels with ammunition and food supply and some landmines. But the world is complex. It might be a group of people, it might be individuals, it might be a state. We don't know. But we'll try to take you, the media, some of you may be interested to go to Bentiu, and then we'll try to identify the source. In this world, you can get the source, but you may not get exactly who did it, who brought them up to, they were captured north of Bentiu by forces of Brigadier General Deng Mayik, and we'll see the condition where they were captured, who was driving those vehicles, and probably if there are documents attached to the equipment, we'll know who supplied them. So we cannot talk about a specific country now. Concerning Hussein Mar on intervention or possible intervention of Uganda, Molana Tanyuwak has talked about it. We have our Air Force, and we announced it the first day that the SPLA have gunship. We have been using this gunship. We have been using them as SPLA gunship, and nobody, we are a sovereign state, and the army has been building itself. Maybe some of the weapons we have not used as an army now, same do not know. And somebody, even within Juba here, do not know all the weapons that the SPLA have. Even some of our soldiers who are not specialized or not from the specialized unit may not know the capacity of our Air Force. So, and this is a strategic weapon. Air Force is a strategic weapon. Whatever weapon we use against aircraft, against whatever, is part of our strategic defense. So that is SPLA. There was a question on significance of Brigadier General Markal surrendering himself to Hitler. Well, it's somebody who was running, who was fighting. He was among the brave officers that actually entered Hijli when SPLA was fighting with SAF some few years ago. Now, he is running to the same enemy he was fighting. So maybe he have established some link or prior information, or he knows somebody there, and he is escaping. So somebody escaping have very few routing. So that do not have any, for me, is not a big issue, because the Khartoum have already promised that they will never support any rebellion in South Sudan. So that is for granted. We are not expecting Khartoum to do opposite to what has been announced. So his entering into Hijli is a simple thing for us. Participation of forces that were in Mayom. When I was announcing some of the few names of the generals that commanded the battles, I announced Major General Matthew Puljang. Matthew Puljang is among those commanders that returned from the north with a huge number of weaponry, machine gun, artilleries, together with General Bakay Montreal. And he was the commander of those forces. Unfortunately, the forces of Riek Machar attacked his camp, looted his weapons, and distributed them among the opposite militia. But the SPLA forces that were in Abiemno and in the rest of the Unity State, they came together and they were organized under Major General Matthew Puljang, because they had more machine guns. Some were looted, some were not looted, and he used them together with the SPLA force that was coming from the direction of Abiemno. So yes, actually they were not a separate body. After the declaration here in Juba, they were already integrated. It was a process of reassigning them to wherever they can be assigned. That was left. But they are fighting as part and body of the SPLA. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen of the press, before I engage the press, I would want to tell you one announcement, because we have not talked about the humanitarian aspect of this situation. We had a report yesterday that number of civilians have crossed from Bantiu, fleeing from the fight. And they have crossed to Barakazal state of Warab, and particularly to Rale area. They are there now in good number. We wanted to tell the world that they have crossed to the area that is predominantly Dinka, to tell the world that this is not an ethnic war between the Dinka and the Nuer. And the office of the president, together with other partners, we will work to ensure that we have a plane, okay, that I can take myself, the media, and those who are willing, and those who are willing to go with us will be registering their name. If they are willing, I will take them myself. We go there for a day. You see them. They will be speaking their Nuer language. Okay, you come and put it for the media, and they are in Barakazal, the area dominated by Dinka. There is no single Nuer in Barakazal, but they are there now. They have crossed, and in Barakazal, the army, who are actually Nuer by tribe, they are still there. Some of them are actually taking a fight now against the rebels. So it is clear now that it is not a fight. I know certain people would want to make it something of a tribe so that they can benefit from it, because there are people who can benefit from mobilizing tribes. But this is not the intention of the government. If there is anyone in the government who is relying on a certain tribe, that are the very people who we have locked up now. They are in custody. And in due course, they will be put into the court of law to answer. The final thing I wanted to tell you is that the forces which are now leaving Bantiu, who have fled Bantiu, and some of them now, some of those who are actually involved, they are forces they are looters, because they have looted the bank yesterday. The bank will tell you how much money that was looted by the forces of al-Bashir. And even the renegade James Kong, who was running, and he runs, you know, the running of a person who doesn't want to run to where there is people because he's keeping money with him, a lot of money. If there is anybody there who needs money, you should go there and take that money. You fight Kong and take the money, because there are money that obtained illegally by looting the bank, by destroying the bank and loot the money of the bank. So these are the very people who destroyed the two cities, that is Bor and Bantiu, and Malakal. You have seen Malakal, and they wanted to govern this country. These are the very people I wanted to tell you how reckless they are. You have seen them, and how some of them have turned now looters. They're very good looters. So until now, I will tell you, have a very good evening.
Which bank? Which bank? Which bank?
KCB, all the banks.
Soy
مشاهدين برنامج الجيش الشعبي لتحرير السودان، رفقائي وزملائي في الكفاح وفي النضال، أنا بحييكم وأنا برحب بكم في بداية هذه الحلقة من برنامجكم الجيش في خدمة الشعب والوطن. في البداية أنا عايز أكد لكم إنه الجيش الشعبي لتحرير السودان البطل، الجيش الصامت، تمكن من تحرير واسترجاع مدينة بنتيو عاصمة ولاية الوحدة. وبمناسبة تحرير مدينة بنتيو يبقى ولاية الوحدة، يبقى إنه الجيش الشعبي لتحرير السودان تمكن من تحرير كل المناطق اللي كانت بتسيطر عليها المتمردين أتباع ريك مشار، وبهذا كل ولاية الوحدة رجعت إلى قبضة الجيش الشعبي لتحرير السودان. وإحنا في القيادة العامة للجيش الشعبي لتحرير السودان إحنا بننتهز هذه الفرصة عشان نهني ونحيي قواتنا البطل، الجيش الشعبي لتحرير السودان بصفة عامة، وقوات البترول وقوات الأسد بصفة خاصة، وكذلك نهيئ ونهني شعب في جمهورية جنوب السودان الذي وقف خلف الجيش الشعبي لتحرير السودان في جميع المناطق. وبتحرير ولاية الوحدة اليوم، وكنا قد